Hello, Maverick traders, and welcome out to your daily currency recap. This is Ankit here, and I'll be breaking down today's market price action and, most importantly, talk about our upcoming 24 hours ahead. Let's get into it. As always, we'll be taking a look at broader markets, see what moved the market, see where the bigger movements were, look at the currency baskets, major news reports, and then we'll take a look at some possible setups ahead. Let's get into it.
Disclaimer: this video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
So jumping over to the market analysis, let's just jump right into the headlines of the numbers. Well, nothing really has changed for the markets in the last 24 hours. The equity markets, they flat for the day. They did have a bit of a run early today, and then they kind of gave back some of the gains. So we're seeing the election rally that we had since last week are sort of pausing for a little bit here. Now, what's not pausing is this US dollar rally. I mean, this thing is the only currency in play, and it's been in the play for like last few weeks. And, it's to the point where, we could get a little bit more, extended higher. This is where we could see some exhaustion. Again, we are not really seeing any of that yet, but it is the only currency that's very much in play. Now, if you take a look at the numbers today, again, if you take a look at numbers, you can see that not a whole lot of major movements across the board. And then if you take a look at the dollar pairs, those are the only currencies that are currency pairs that are actually moving. So it's very much concentrated into the USD right now. Now, this is a trade that's been running for the last 6-7 weeks. We talk about the overbought or the oversold levels. So we certainly at the levels where it looks very extended, but at the same time, it's not slowing down. So you want to stay long as the dollar stays strong. But then if you get that exhaustion sign, that's the only time to make that change. But so far, you can see we closed up pretty much towards the highs of the day. So nothing really has changed. A little bit weakness as the dollar stays strong. We're seeing the weakness in the Aussie and Kiwi. You can see that Euro, Swiss franc. Not a whole lot. We had a British pound that did recover some of the movement. Yesterday the pound had a bigger drop and it had a bit of a reversal. On the other hand, we are seeing the CAD slowly, kind of keeping up with the dollar, but not up to that extent. And you can see that in the dollar CAD. Now we are at, we have broken up that key resistance of 3 years, and we are seeing some very interesting levels in these dollar pairs, and something we'll discuss that further in a bit here. Now here we are in this broader markets, and you can see in the broader markets we are seeing the S&P mostly flat. We are also seeing the World Stock Index slightly down. Crypto, you can see taking a bit of a pullback, and cryptos are at the point where we could see some exhaustion. There has been some big movements, especially in Bitcoin, but based on the price action here, that's also very much concentrated into the Bitcoin. Among the other cryptocurrencies. So something we're going to pay attention to and see how the daily closes are happening, because that's really what's going to tell us that if there's an exhaustion happening, then that's where that there may be a pullback that's just sort of taking place here. Gold market continues to pull back. As you can see, the gold market has been also running quite a bit as well, and they're pulling back, continues to pull back, and oil is flat. Now, if you go into the cryptocurrency here, you can see that Bitcoin is the only crypto that's actually up for the day. Everything else is down. That's just telling you that this is really the Bitcoin story here. That's really the one that's catching a lot of that, the gains. And I know we talk about, the other cryptocurrencies sort of catching up to it. But we are not, I don't like the fact that when they pull back, these things pull back the most, especially Ethereum. I was kind of hoping to see if the Ethereum's going to outperform the Bitcoin, but that's clearly not the case here. So we are still very concentrated, just like how we are concentrated in the currency market in the dollar. In the crypto market, it's very much concentrated into the Bitcoin. Now, here we are with the outlook, and here we are with the outlook here. You can see that the outlook remains strong, and let's just take a look at the chart here. Now, this is where you can see that we are sort of pausing here a little bit. This is a big level of resistance. This is the last week. We got a big breakout to the upside, and now we're just going sideways a little bit. Now, this sideways is important because, after every big run, we need to see some consolidation before we can get long. But now, if this thing falls back and retests this level, now I think that's where the momentum is going to flip pretty quick. Right now, it's still not concerning to me because it's still very orderly, sort of a pause. But if this start to give up certain level, then we need to evaluate. Because the big question is that, are we still going to have like an end of the year rally? And, after a big run like that, we still have to kind of question that. If this breaks out above this level, yeah, we're probably going to go and have another rally higher. But realize that we are already at some key levels at all-time highs this year. So a bit of a pause is expected at this point. Now, if you take a look at this schedule, we had the U.S. The CPI report today. You can see that the numbers were in line with expectation, and this is where you would think that, hey, there'd probably be no movement today. But guess what? The dollar still moved onto the upside, regardless of what the number comes out. So again, the strength in the dollar is still continuing. Now, tonight we have the Aussie employment report. Something I'll be paying attention to. Remember, Aussie is, overall, the RBA is still hawkish. Their numbers are still okay. So we're just going to take a look at this one. If this is surprises to the downside, I think Aussie short makes a lot more sense. Now, if the Aussie comes out better than expected, I think we can see the resumption in that strength in the Aussie. So overall, Aussie has held a lot better this year. And again, thanks to the economic numbers and thanks to the central bank, but something we're going to pay attention to. Tomorrow we have the PPI, and again, I don't expect any change. You can see that markets, especially the dollar, doesn't seem to care. So, as always, we're going to show up to the event. We're going to take a look at it. But at the end of the day, unless we see an exhaustion sign, the dollar probably continues to either run higher, consolidate, run higher, consolidate. That's just the pattern that we're seeing here. And then on Friday, we have the U.S. retail sales data coming out as well. So that's on the horizon, but nothing too pressing. I think the trends continues to prevail here. So let's just do our currency analysis here, and let's just take a look at some of the setups here.
Do you want to be a professional trader? Maverick Currencies is the oldest U.S.-based Forex and crypto prop trading company that will pay you for trading with our capital. Trade our capital and keep 70 to 80% of the profits. We are looking for traders just like you that are hardworking and motivated. Click the apply link on the top right of this video to see if you have what it takes. That link takes you to a 4-minute video that explains the trader position available, and you read a list of FAQs that answer pretty much all the basic questions you have at this point. After watching the video and reading the FAQs, if you're interested, fill out an application. Then you'll watch the full-length recruiting video and then schedule an interview with one of our traders. Are you our next trader?
Now, when you take a look at this chart, and this is what I want everyone to start to, go from a top-down analysis and take a look at where we are in this dollar rally. So this is a weekly chart. You can see that this weekly chart, we are almost on the 7th week run. We are against or approaching a key resistance level. So this is where, you see some, around these levels where we can see some reversals. But take a look at the candlestick. When we got to that candlestick or when we got to those points, we started to get some the shadows. Well, take a look at the candlestick close today, almost at the highs of the day. So this is, again, telling me that we probably still have another day, another leg up. And then we're going to see that if that leg up will lead into that shadow or if these, continue higher. It does look extended to me, but you can see that, we have seen things in the past, but this run has been definitely a lot more stronger in a very short period of time. So watch out for that key resistance level. But at the same time, I think we probably have another leg higher. So what you need to do is that, the dollar remains the upper stronger currency. But if you start to see a reversal sign, Now that's the first signal would be to get out of the dollar pairs because the trade is very crowded. So that would be the first signal. But right now, as of here, I don't see a whole lot of signal here. But after this big move today, you can see that we are continue to be in this overbought territory on the RSI. This is a 4-hour chart. The question is that do I get long here? And if I do get long, how long I'm going to get long for? So the risk to reward ratio doesn't look that good right now. So you just gotta keep that in mind. Is that maybe use a different time frame that will get you out sooner than later if there's a pullback. But right now we are extended higher. We could see some pullback here, but so far the trend continues to be on the upside here. Now let's take a look at the CAD, because CAD is the one, again, we talk about that correlation. CAD is also holding it much better, with this dollar strength, but dollar again is very much stronger. And that leads me to the dollar CAD currency pair. You can see that this thing has officially cleared up that 3-year resistance level. And here we are, 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4th time. We are officially into the bullish territory here in this dollar CAD. So where's the next level of resistance? And again, this is where it gets interesting, because there's been very handful of times that we have gotten above this level. One was here, that was COVID. A lot of movements there taking place. And then the other time was the end of 2015. So you can see that that's a very significant, area that you're in that dollar CAD. So I think that's really where we are seeing some big things are happening on those daily charts. Now, you're not seeing the same thing on other currencies. Like here's the dollar, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar has not, so this is the Aussie basket, but let's just say, look at the Aussie dollar. You can see that the Aussie dollar still has to clear up some levels. Like this is the level of support that we are running into right now. So that's, we're definitely getting into the oversold area, but we are at that interesting point where it could go down from further from here, but it looks extended to me here. So again, you got to use the right time frame that will get you out when the momentum flips. So you can use the exponential moving average. You can see how consistent that exponential moving average is. This is an hourly chart, even on a 4-hour chart. So I will only make that change or flip if it really gets above those levels. But until then, I think we've got to continue following that direction. All these setups looks the same. Here we are, pound dollar, but then we are running against some key support area. Euro dollar, you can see it just minted fresh lows here at this level. Yeah, if you think it looks extended, I think I'm with you. But at the same time, it's not telling us or giving us a signal that, hey, maybe this move is coming to an end. So this is the point where if you missed the rally or you're waiting to get in, just realize that you don't want to get in at the end of that move or at the end of that cycle, because that's where reversals can take place. So use the appropriate time frame to get into that. So I think the dollar is really the name of the game here, because outside of that, if you take a look at other currency baskets, you'll notice that things, like look at the pound, it's range bound. Here we are, Aussie, it's range bound. Like we are not breaking higher lows on the daily chart. So this is all the story is all about the dollar here. So just keep that in mind. Concentrated position. That's the only thing that's running. So unless you stay out and wait for the next big move to happen, that's just trade that we got to continue working with. So in conclusion, dollar again, remain that currency in play. Be careful with the dollar. Look for any exhaustion signs, and if you do so, then that's really the sign for an exit. But until then, I think dollar long is the only play here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next update. Happy trading.